Javier Hernandez, Marco Arnautovic, thank you, my friends. West Ham 2-0 against Watford at home at the London Stadium. West Ham are back with a very, very, very decent performance today. Welcome back to Irons United. I'm joined by Rich, all the way from South Africa. Give me your opinion on today's game, Rich.
How's it, Ant? Yeah, it's a massive 3 points against a side that's definitely on the up, especially after their results over Chelsea. So they came to this London Stadium full of confidence. They would have been up for it. But we deserved the win today. We dominated them for large spells. Yes, they had a lot of the ball in the second half, but they didn't really trouble us. And I'm just especially delighted to have the man Arnautovic back. My word, he is unplayable. And for Chicha to score is also extra special. So it's the perfect home performance in my opinion. A clean sheet as well. Literally ticked all the boxes. Massive result. A
good way to describe Arnautovic is he returned with silver hair and he turned West Ham into gold today, because this guy is on fire. This guy is just an absolute, like, oh my god, like, we're all falling in love with this man, and he just brings that extra bit of oomph, that edge to our team, the excitement. I mean, another way of, I mean, he's got a snazzy new look, and he was the thing that really lit up the London Stadium. He really does light up West Ham right now, and he is the man that we have. And I said it earlier on in the season, Rich. I said he's a luxurious player that I felt at the time we probably shouldn't have signed. But oh my god, I can eat my words. I can eat my words, because he has done nothing but great, fantastic things for our club right now. Let's go into the game and the starting lineup. What were your thoughts on the starting lineup? Happy?
I was so happy. I don't even know how to explain my happiness, because it was the first time that we've seen a team put up by Moyes that was clearly attacking driven. We weren't going to sit back, park the bus. We were going to go there and get at Watford, which is what we did in the first half. I think to have Hernandez, Arnautovic, Mario all together just shows that Moyes was really up for this game, and he wanted us to get at them and really get the home fans back on side again, because with all the rubbish that's been going on with the march and stuff, I think it was a result that we really needed. If we'd lost this game, I think the fans would have been up in arms yet again. But just especially delighted that we could get a win, and it could have been more, in all honesty. Jean Mario had a great chance when I felt Arnautovic should have had a penalty when he was fouled. The ball broke to Jean Mario, who probably could have scored, and then obviously Arnautovic had a great chance in the first half to bury one as well. Keepers made a good save, but it could have been 4 today. It really could have. Yeah. And as you've said with Arnautovic, he just makes such a huge difference to our side. Intensity-wise, he presses from the front. Everyone's up for it when he's on the field. He's strong, he's pacey, and he's got amazing feet as well. He went past players like they weren't even there today. So what a blessing to have him back in the side. And then, can you just imagine what we're going to be like when Lanzini returns?
And that was going to be my next question. I mean, it's mouth-watering looking at our side just now. But when you think of the prospect of Lanzini coming back into that side, you think to yourself, oh wow, like after coming off a performance like that. Because I tell you what, Rich, another player I'm going to give his due is Czech Kouati. I thought he was fantastic today. He sat a little bit deeper, and he came from the back, and he came with energy, he came with pace. He made a few fouls, but do you know what? Sometimes in that position, that's what he needs to do. He done it at the right place, the right time. He collected the ball. He collected it with ease. He nipped the ball away several amount of times. And then we're starting to see a little bit of the Czech Kouati that we know we've got and what he can do in his performance. What was your thoughts on Kouati?
It's so great to have our African prince back, because he's at his best again. Yeah. He is just a tank in the middle of the park. For the last couple of games, to be fair to him, he's really come into his own. He's looked like he's been up for it, because in the past we've criticised him, and rightly so, because he wasn't at it. He didn't have that same engine that we saw today. He was all over the park. He's willing to take knocks for the team. He's willing to get kicks in the face for the team. He carries the ball forward. He's that defense world class. Me and you were chatting, just saying, you know, Kouati, absolute brick in the middle of the park, and hopefully he can go from strength to strength, because when he's at it, West Ham are at it.
Oh, absolutely, and it's so nice to see him back. When I talk about the starting lineup, I was excited by it, and like you said, it's going to provide really tough choices for David Moyes when Lanzini is coming back. Let's talk about Antonio. What were your thoughts on Antonio's, I suppose let's just say, his first half performance to start with?
Yeah, I thought he was decent. I mean, he lost the ball once or twice, but he's that rugged player that when he has to fill in in the role he was playing. He's the type of player that can push it past their right back, and he'll win the ball every single time, because I think he's honestly the quickest player on the park. Lovely ball in for Hernandez's header, absolute peach of a ball in.
Absolutely.
He sent their right back for a hot dog, 2-step overs, bang, ball in, fantastic
Popcorn.
finish. Hernandez. For popcorn, yeah, popcorn and some other commercial drink you can think of, yeah. But fantastic. I thought it's great to have him back, because all of us at Iron United were speaking about it in the last couple of days, saying that in the last few games he's looked a bit heavy, and he hasn't really been at it. But I think we're slowly starting to see that raw Mikel Antonio come back to the club, that robust player that can literally on his day drop anyone on that left hand side.
And on Antonio, we need to remember he was Hammer of the Year last year, so we know he can perform. We know he can perform consistently, and I have stuck up for him a lot over the past couple of weeks. But tonight, and again today, we've seen him run his socks off, his backside off. And if you see in the second half, he had a chance where he went forward and he tried to pass the ball out wide. I think it was either to Yao Mario or to Noble. He lost the ball, but he tracked. He must have literally ran the whole length forward and the whole length back. And he did look done in, but who wouldn't be done in after doing that? Because no other player was doing that constant tracking back and forth.
Absolutely.
And that's what I've got to give for Antonio. His effort, sometimes he doesn't have the finished product, but tell you what, his effort and his strong ability outweighs potentially his end product for me. And for me, if we keep seeing that week in and week out, he is a constant threat, and he was a constant threat today down the left wing.
And credit to him as well, because obviously he was dropped for missing the team meeting, and he's come back firing. It's not easy just being chucked in a position that's pretty foreign to him. It's not often that he has to fill in at a left wing back position, but I thought he handled it really well today. So credit to him, because that's a team player right there. That's someone that says, you know what, I'm going to play, I'm going to try my best for the team. It's not really where I want to be playing, but bloody hell, he's a tank on that left hand side. Well done to him.
Absolutely. Adrian didn't have much to do pretty much for the whole game, but when he did have something to do, he did step up to the mark. He played well, but we'll brush over that, and let's just move on to the disallowed goal from Chicharito. What were your thoughts?
Well, actually, it was a funny one. I had to literally pop out for 2 minutes while we were watching the game with my brother and my dad. I came back in and he said, yeah, there's been a disallowed goal. Apparently, it was marginally offside,
millimeter,
maybe onside. Yeah, literally margin. So I didn't see it to be fair, but it just shows that we were really going at them in the first half. It could have definitely been more than the one goal we got, definitely.
And on that, when you look at the offside goal, you'll see, it's borderline, and it's like eagle eye that the linesman has seen this, but he is literally a millimetre offside, because the rule does state that any attacking part of the body in the attacking format, if he steps out within the offside, even if it's a millimetre, then he is offside. Yeah. So it's unfortunate, but I tell you what, great finish from Hernandez under pressure from a lot of defenders, and we're starting to see that confident Chicharito, which is the one we want to see. He worked hard today. He has been working hard. To be honest, I'm not even that arsed if he works that hard, as long as he scores goals for our team. He's got 3 and 3, and he scored again today. Describe the goal to me, Rich.
Oh, it's fantastic play from Antonio. He sends Janmat, as I said, for a hot dog, beats his man, puts it on a plate. Watford were appealing for a foul. I don't see it, to be honest. I think Ziegler's just got wrong side, and he's literally just tripped over. There's been a coming together.
Absolutely.
Hernandez buries it with his head, and he looks to be enjoying his football again, which is really good to see, because he was well up for it today. When we got the second goal, he was jumping all over Arnautovic, massive smile. He was happy, and when he's scoring goals, he's going to be happy. So, as we've been saying for months and months and months, play him, play the Mexican. He will score, and he's shown it now. Three goals in his last 3. I know you are his biggest fan, and I'm sure you're buzzing just like I am that he's on the score sheet again today.
Absolutely. I just think for a player of his ability, with his goal scoring record, to just score goals is going to just breed confidence. And with all these potential players coming back who can potentially put the ball to him, this is what we want. This is the Chicharito we want. This is the team we want behind him. So for me, I'm absolutely buzzing. Then it comes to the second half, and we can't deny it. Watford's possession, they came out all guns blazing. They held high possession, starting to panic. A bit of a panic in the West Ham side. How did you rate our kind of first 20 minutes of the second half? It wasn't that great, was it, Rich?
Yeah, it wasn't. There were a few times when I was sitting thinking to myself, we are just waiting to concede an equaliser here, because we're sitting so deep. They had so much of the ball. We just dropped our intensity a little bit, and they were growing into the game, to be fair. And they could have easily nicked a goal if they'd just been a bit more, they just concentrated a bit more in the final third. But luckily we weathered that storm, and I thought we actually did pretty well. I thought Ginger and Ogbonna handled all the crosses that came in pretty decently. Zabaleta, I know he got an early yellow card, but I thought he was very decent after that.
Yeah.
So I thought we handled all the threats they brought to us really well in the second half. Jones made a decent save from the free kick from De La Feu. But yeah, other than that 15-20 minute spark from Watford, they didn't really offer much. And yeah, we were worthy of the win today, definitely.
Absolutely. Then it comes to our second goal, and the man himself, the I don't even know, the Austrian king of just ability, and just what a fan favourite he is becoming, what a favourite player for me he's becoming. He was there in the right place at the right time, and that's something that we are just loving to see. If it wasn't for him, it's either Chicharito, but the fact that these players are finding these positions is a nice thing. Cresswell done well to block the shot, the clearance, and it ricocheted to Arnautovic. And do you know what, Rich? He totally deserved that. He totally deserved that goal today. So yeah, West Ham have walked away 2-0 victors of the game, 3 points, which is really nice. We've moved up to 11th place, opened up a bit of a gap, 5 points from the bottom three, which is nice for the first time in a while. But we can't go to sleep because things aren't that rosy. They're really not that rosy, Rich. And let's hope that this. I mean, what are your thoughts on a lot of the stuff going on? And
yeah, I mean, as you said, it's definitely not rosy. This to be going into this game, I don't think feelings were ideal. I don't think the atmosphere at the club was ideal going into this game. But obviously, the players have shut out all the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes, and they've focused, and obviously they've trained really well in the week. But at the end of the day, things are not right at our club. You can't paper this over the cracks and say, oh yeah, we've beaten Watford, it's all going to be rosy and it's all going to be happy, because that's not the case. There's still a lot that needs to happen. I'm still intrigued to hear what's happened at the meeting today concerning the march and everything like that. And yeah, it will be interesting to see what transpires the next few days. Obviously, David Sullivan's come out with a few statements regarding scouting and what's going to change. As far as I'm concerned, it's gone in this year and gone out that year, because we've been told that in the past and nothing's changed. So yeah, it will be a very interesting next couple of weeks for sure for our club. I just hope whatever happens for the best for our club going forward, because I'd hate to see our club go downhill as a result of this.
We don't want to focus too much on the negatives, but we do have to kind of address some of the things that have been said, and we'll do that with maybe a video through the week on our channel. And I think we've discussed that we're probably all going to do a gift of the gab at some point. But just for anyone that doesn't know, but I believe you probably will know, that David Sullivan has released a statement today before the game, which for me personally, I thought when I read it or watched it, slightly distasteful, wrong timing, I personally thought. But do you know what? Stop. There's no need to question the West Ham fans' unity, because it's there, and it's there in abundance. It's there more than you will probably know, Mr. Sullivan and Mr. Gold. So that's the frustration of a West Ham fan. Never question our unity together, because at the end of the day, and do you know what? It is maybe a bit of a cliche, but Irons United, that's what we are. We are West Ham United, and we're all together. So anyway, 2-0 win, Rich. Great result. Still some great game today. Negatives in the background, positives in the forefront. We have got the victory, 3 points. That's what we wanted, and yeah, that's that. So, Rich, any final points you want to make before we go?
No, nothing really. I think we've covered it pretty well. I think it's just so important that we got Arnautovic back today, because I think it would have been a completely different game without him on the pitch. Obviously, it's great having the likes of Evra on the bench with that experience. You saw how happy Arnautovic was after his goal, went straight to Evra, gave him a hug. And I can tell Evra, even if he's not playing, he's going to be massive in the changing room. Just as genuine positivity around the club.
But you know why, Rich?
Yeah, go for it.
Because he loves this game.
I love this game.
Can't help it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, I love him. You've got to love him. You've got to love him. And I think hopefully he can just continue to be the positive influence in the changing room that we need, especially in times like this. But credit to the players and credit to the manager, because they've done the job today. shout out all the stuff that's been going on externally, and yeah, massive win. So I'm delighted.
Patrice Evra, the 70k a week cheerleader. That's what we'll take.
That's literally what it is, yeah. With his walking stick.
Yeah. Listen, thanks very much. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we do know from looking at a lot of the stats, our guys on the channel has been looking at a lot of the stats, and a lot of people are watching the video and haven't subscribed yet. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's not that hard, just click the button. Make sure you comment below, let us know what's happening, let us know what you think of the channel. Rich will be back, I think, in the week. You're doing a show, not again?
Yeah, definitely.
Worldwide Irons. Alf Gasparo will be back with his Rhubarb Grumble, and we've got a new one coming out, which is out last week, Wayne's World, so that's an interesting one as well. So make sure you tune into our channel. Thank you very much for coming on and viewing. Hit the like button. I think that's all the jazz you need to do with YouTube. We have been Irons United. Come on, West Ham, 3 points, enjoy match of the day.